How we doing, guys? It's your boy Black Ginger, and today is gonna be a little different. Just bear with me.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
So today we're gonna talk about capital punishment, sort of. Capital punishment is the legally authorized killing of someone as punishment for a crime. The first established capital punishment was listed on Hammurabi's code in the 18th century, but that was not the first time it was actually put into use by civilization. The Hittite code introduced the death penalty in the 14th century to penalize most sexual crimes, and the Draconian code in Athens made the death penalty a result of any crime committed. Not to mention, the Roman law of the 12 tablets in the 5th century BC, death sentences were carried out by such means as crucifixion, drowning, beating to death, burning alive, and impalement. According to Wikipedia, of the 198 nations recognized worldwide, 56 of them still use capital punishment. 106 have abolished it completely. 8 have kept it only for high-tier crimes, and 28 have abolished it in practice, which means that they still have it written in their laws, but they don't specifically use it anymore. They try to find new ways around it, and they haven't really used capital punishment in the last 10 years. So technically they've abolished it, but they can still do capital punishments if they want to. Now in America, capital punishment is legal in 29 of the 50 states, and there are about 2,673 people on death row right now. Since 1976, about 1,500 people have been executed on death row, and since 1973, there have been 165 exonerations, meaning that 165 people were walking to their deathbed when they were told that they were accused of a crime they did not commit, and they were finally set free, but they were almost killed. They were almost killed for something they did not do. That's over 10% of people on death row who've been able to prove their innocence before their time was up. Not to mention that anybody on death row probably has enough evidence against them that's placed them in prison for capital punishment that's not going to prove their innocence, even if they are innocent. Because some of them probably are, some of them apparently are. But I'm saying that it's always hard to prove that you're innocent once you're already been proven guilty. Like, I'm sorry. But today, I don't want to argue the ethics of death row. I want to ask you if you've heard of Rodney Reed, because if you asked me a few days ago, I would be probably like most of you and say, I have never heard of him. So let me borrow your next few minutes just to tell you who Rodney Reed is, because there's a murder that's about to be committed, and who knows if there's a way for us to stop it. Rodney Reed is scheduled to be executed on November 20th. In less than 2 weeks, Reed has been accused of the 1996 murder of Stacy Stites, a 19-year-old woman who was found raped and strangled in the woods in Texas and has been in prison since 1998. The initial suspect was Stites' boyfriend at the time, police officer Jimmy Fennell, who was acquitted of charges from a lack of DNA evidence. However, eventually police connected semen DNA from Stites' body that matched Reed's, whom he says he was in a consensual relationship with, and he has neighbors who have testified to say that he was in a consensual relationship with her. But seeing how they were living in Texas, the jury found it very hard for a man like him to be with a woman like her. In the original trial, Reed did not testify, and his defense team failed to find witnesses to call on. However, Reed's new lawyers have been able to find several residents who have backed up his claims about their relationships. In addition to this new evidence, another inmate, Arthur Snow, has come forward in recent months and signed an affidavit that says that while Stites' boyfriend was in prison for rape, Fennell confessed to Stites' murder to Snow. While in prison, Stites sought protection from the Aryan Brotherhood and confessed to them as a way of gaining their trust. So even with all these signs pointing towards his innocence, Rodney Reed is still scheduled to be executed on November 20th in just a few days, and the courts are still refusing to give him a retrial and push his dates back. I don't really know how much we can do as individual people, because the court systems, they've been deeply rooted in something that's very hard to change, and I just one day want to have a voice that's capable of making change, and hopefully Mr. Reed's case is pushed back a few more days to give him a chance to fight back for his life. There's also been a few petitions I've seen going around the internet that I've signed, and I'm gonna link them down in the description below. So that way, hopefully, just a few more names, a few more people who have listened to the story are willing to give us some kind of strength, some kind of backbone to give him a couple more days of life to push back and to fight for his court case. So I'm gonna link those down below. And all we can really do is share his story, share his name, say his name, sign the petitions, and just hope that he gets a chance for his voice to really be heard. But that's all I have for now. I'll keep you guys updated on social media. Hopefully we learn something before November 20th. But until then, learn backwards. Peace.